welcome all of you to the launch of our season 2023. I'm here today at the fabric store of the Australian Ballet, where I'm surrounded by fragments of costumes from 60 years of ballet. Our 60th anniversary season will show the full arc of the Australian Ballet's artistry. The third season in my tenure, we will explore the company's rich heritage and equally celebrate our courageous journey forward. It will be a year of fresh perspectives, a year when we continue to showcase contemporary work from today's leading artists while honoring the traditions of classical ballet. It is my great pleasure to share our 60th anniversary season. Swan Lake, the most famous ballet ever created, needs little introduction. An enduring love story exploring the themes of yearning and betrayal, set to Tchaikovsky's timeless score, this ballet has played a reoccurring role in the history of the Australian Ballet. To celebrate our 15th birthday in 1977, then Artistic Director Anne Williams created a production of Swan Lake that audiences still tell me is a jewel in the company's repertoire. In 2023, we bring back this iconic work as the cornerstone of our 60th anniversary. In the decades since the production premiered, our company has almost doubled in size. While the steps on stage will be those from the original, I'm delighted to be joined by choreographer Lucas Gervais, who will work alongside me to expand and grow the production for the company of 80 dancers today. With the original sets and costumes lost to history, I'm thrilled to welcome longtime creative partners Daniel Ostling and Mara Blumenfeld as the design team, who will create realistic yet classic designs lit by lighting designer TJ Gherkins. These celebrated designers, bringing experience from Australia and across the world, will breathe new life into this ballet, bringing it squarely into the 21st century and ensuring Anne's production returns to the place as our jewel in the repertoire for decades to come. These creatives have already been supported by our incredible ballet community. Nearly 1,000 people made generous gifts to bring this ballet to life, and I would like to personally thank each and every one of them for bringing this production to life. I would particularly like to celebrate the leadership gifts of the James and Diana Ramsey Foundation and the Lachlan and Sarah Murdoch Foundation. Opening in Melbourne in September, I am thrilled that Swan Lake will tour to the refurbished Adelaide Festival Centre and the Queensland Performing Arts Centre, both in October, before heading to the Sydney Opera House in December. Another celebration of our heritage will be Rudolf Nureyev's Don Quixote. Nureyev's love affair with the Australian Ballet gave us an acclaimed film adaptation in 1973, a film that put the company firmly on the global stage. In 2023, we unite the film with the stage in a lavish new production for the company. The energy of Nureyev and Robert Helpman's 1973 film will be transported to the theatre with new sets from Australian designer Richard Roberts. Based on Barry Kay's Spanish-inspired designs from the film, we journey through bustling markets to lively taverns and serene dreamscapes. Pair that with some of the most iconic choreography in the classical repertoire. This will be a vibrant and exciting night at the ballet. And as with Swan Lake, part of my overarching vision to usher in the timeless classical ballets we love to the modern era of today. The redesign and restoration of Don Quixote has been funded by Lady Primrose Potter and her co-contributors to the David Hallberg Fund, with additional support from the Barry K. Fund. Don Quixote will be performed for audiences in Melbourne in March before the production heads to Sydney in April. In season 2023, we look squarely to the future of Australian dance, welcoming two of Australia's leading choreographic voices, Daniel Riley, Artistic Director of Australian Dance Theatre, and our resident choreographer, Alice Topp. Identity will see Daniel and Alice explore what identity means to them as Australians and as artists. The new work by Daniel Riley, a Wiradjuri man from Western New South Wales, will explore the tangible yet invisible connection between performers, orchestra, and audience, and the shared sense of identity of place and community. Collaboration is vital to the creative process, and this work unites artists of Australian Dance Theatre and the Australian Ballet for the first time, which began in July this year when dancers from our two companies spent 2 weeks together at ADT's home in Adelaide, forging new relationships and shared ideas. The work will be enriched by a commissioned score for a full orchestra by celebrated Yorta Yorta composer and soprano Deborah Cheatham AO. Tungarong fashion designer and educator Annette Sachs will create bespoke contemporary costumes for both performers and orchestra, inspired by the textures and elements of the land. Adelaide-based multidisciplinary artist Matt Adey joins as production designer for this world premiere collaboration. In our Diamond Anniversary year, resident choreographer Alice Topp's new work, Paragon, is a look to the company of 60 years, a celebration of our artistic vibrancy, our thirst for innovation, our unique homegrown accent, and the tapestry of artists that have shaped Australia's ballet landscape. Featuring a mix of current dancers, performing with dancers for the company's history, Alice's work will explore what it means to be the Australian Ballet. I can't wait to welcome these alumni home to our studios and stages. In bringing this work to life, Alice joins forces with longtime collaborator, designer John Buswell, composer Christopher Gordon, and costume designer Elisa Gelbart. Through a dynamic selection of intergenerational company artists, this arresting modern work will be a moving journey embodying the heart and soul of the Australian Ballet. Identity will have its world premiere in Sydney in May and held to Melbourne in June. Some ballets, over the course of their time, create an aura of elegance and myth that holds up to our expectation of it. That is true with one of George Balanchine's greatest masterpieces, Jules. I am honored to bring Jules to the dancers and audiences of the Australian Ballet for the first time ever. Jules is a 3-part ballet celebrating Balanchine's vision of 3 precious stones, emeralds, rubies, and diamonds. A work that is both soft and sharp, racy yet refined, flashy and majestic. Jules captures the company's stylistic virtuosity in a fitting celebration for our Diamond Anniversary year. Each of the Jules' 3 acts is distinct in style and mood, set to music by 3 different composers: Gabriel Fauré for emeralds, Igor Stravinsky for rubies, Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky for diamonds. The costumes for each jewel, created by legendary collaborator Karinska, are as equally important as Balanchine's choreography, unifying each of the 3 sections to achieve one regal whole, which will showcase the classical precision of the Australian Ballet's dancers. I am also thrilled to welcome Peter Harvey to the Australian Ballet. The original set designer for the world premiere by New York City Ballet in 1967, Peter will be working with us on a revised version of his original sets made to Balanchine's vision. Jules has also been made possible by the collective generosity of those who have contributed to the David Hallberg Fund. Thank you to those visionary supporters who have enabled this enormous opportunity for our dancers to tackle one of the great works of the classical ballet repertoire. The Australian Ballet premiere of Jules will be held at the Sydney Opera House on the 4th of May, before heading to Melbourne as part of our winter program at Arts Centre Melbourne in July. Frederick Ashton and the ballets he created for the Royal Ballet played an integral role in shaping the repertoire of the Australian Ballet. We have had a close connection to this creative lineage since our beginnings, as Peggy Van Praagh came from the Sadler's Wells Ballet herself. We welcome two of Ashton's great works in a season exclusive to Sydney in November, The Dream, and in an Australian premiere, Marguerite and Armand. The Dream, an intricately stylized ballet created to celebrate the 400th anniversary of William Shakespeare's birth, is Ashton's interpretation of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Set in an enchanted wood, Ashton's choreographic intricacies balance perfectly with the unfolding of Felix Mendelssohn's score of precise strings and resounding horns. Last performed by the Australian Ballet in 2014, The Dream showcases the speed, clarity, and vibrancy of the dancers and musicians alike. Created for and made famous by the legendary partnership of Margot Fonteyn and Rudolf Nureyev in 1963, Marguerite and Armand brings the passion of a tragic affair between the doomed courtesan Marguerite and her lover, Armand. Framed through a series of flashbacks, Ashton created these roles from the passion that Fonteyn and Nureyev embodied when dancing together. This work will equally serve as a vehicle for the artists of this company. Franz Liszt's music pulses through each scene, which includes his famous piano sonata in B minor, enhancing the emotional intensity of this unforgettable ballet. I am honored to present Marguerite and Armand to the Australian Ballet audiences for the very first time. Finally, I am thrilled to announce the Australian debut of the Tokyo Ballet, who will come to Melbourne in season 2023 for an exclusive run of Giselle. From classical ballets to celebrated, unique contemporary works, the Tokyo Ballet is a future-focused company sharing many of my own values, and a company I had the privilege of dancing with for many years. At the heart of both of our artistic visions is a desire to move audiences through unforgettable expressions of our art form to audiences around the world. And I am delighted to include this company as our invited guests in our 60th anniversary season. Performing on the most famous stages in the world, including the Paris Opera, La Scala in Milan, the Bolshoi and Mariinsky theaters in Russia, the Tokyo Ballet has performed in over 155 cities across 32 countries. I am delighted for the Australian Ballet to continue its history of developing strong connections with ballet companies around the world, and look forward to welcoming Artistic Director Yukari Saito and the Tokyo Ballet to Melbourne. I know Australian audiences will give this company a warm Aussie welcome when the company performs their production of the timeless classic Giselle in July. We thank you for your support over the past 60 years, and we appreciate your continued support for many more to come. Without great music, there is no dance. I would like to recognize the integral partnerships we share with our orchestras, who make such an important contribution to our art form. Without their vital contribution, we would be unable to perform our great repertoire for audiences. To the conductors and the musicians, thank you for the continuous beauty that emanates from the orchestra pit. I look forward to welcoming you all and our audiences to performances in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and Adelaide, as well as other towns we will tour to in 2023. It is a season of exclusive Australian premieres, new commissions, and revivals of timeless classics that properly exemplify my vision to bring the best of the world, created both here and abroad, to audiences all around the country. Principal packages for season 2023 will go on sale on Tuesday, September 20th. Let us move you beyond words for our 60th anniversary season in 2023.